in 2008, the Academy launched a new project which we called Limits to Rationality. You're going to hear from Bill Byers today about the ambiguity of things, and this was a really good example of ambiguity, because in choosing that topic, we meant to imply that very often we find that there's a limited use of rationality, but at the same time, we also find that there are limits to what can be accomplished through what we call rationality, and we began exploring alternatives at that time. About 3 years ago, we had a special session at Podgorica on this, and another one in Trieste, looking at creativity, genius, and ways of knowing. But in the last 3 years, the general work of the Academy has made it quite clear to us that this is much more central to everything that we're doing. It's not just an interesting topic. It's fundamental. In the work we have been doing on addressing global social challenges, with particular emphasis on economics and how it relates to human welfare, we have come to the conclusion that we really have reached the limits of the existing paradigm in the social sciences, and that unless we reevaluate and reframe our approach to understanding human society, we are not going to be able to effectively grapple with the challenges that we face. That means overcoming the compartmentalization of disciplines. It means going beyond the mechanistic models that we have inherited from the natural sciences. It means going beyond the abstract models and recognizing that the models are a long distance away from reality. So we have been frequently talking about the need for new thinking, out-of-the-box, creative thinking, thinking that will help us reconcile what are apparently irreconcilable contradictions or irreconcilable goals. We've talked a lot about the need to come away from reductionist analytic thinking and look more systemically, look more synthetically, but also to include in our concepts the fact that we as human beings are an integral part of the reality that we are dealing with as a social reality. Our consciousness matters, our subjective views, our construction of reality is central to addressing these issues. We can't just look at them in an impartial way as observers. In another line of the work that the Academy's been doing, it's interesting to note that people like Karl Popper for many decades were talking about the fact that scientific discovery is either always or in most notable cases not the result of a rational linear process, but the result of something which for lack of a better term, we refer to as insight or intuition. And that the scientific method, which is so emphasized in academic circles, really focuses on how do we validate or falsify a scientific hypothesis once it's developed. But it doesn't really help us develop the new ideas that go to creating new paradigms.